otherwise.
Hearing birth stories is really important for all people because when you hear a birth story, you really connect to the birth experience.
When I went into labor, it was kind of like I was woken up, just like you had said. You're just like, you wake up and you're like, oh, this is it. And I mean, I was smiling and excited and just like.
I leaned over Jeff, who was like hunched over, and I leaned over Jeff, and Martine was at my vagina, like she was praying at an altar.
The second cesarean, I guess I was more focused on it. I noticed that they actually, it's kind of graphic, but they take your skin and they bring it up to like the barrier, and it's like tied. Like they take a tie and it's like hooked on to keep the skin up.
When I told my mother just recently that I'm pregnant again, she said, oh, well, this is easy. You just schedule your C-section.
After that contraction, I just looked at her and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't turn the corner. I'm too scared. And she said, if you want to have this baby, you have to turn the corner. And you have to do whatever it takes to have this baby. You can do this. I was like, I can't do it. She's like, you can do it. And I did it.
And I wrote this play because I wanted to validate mothers' birth experiences.
Now tell every pregnant friend the truth, that you're going to swear the baby's coming right out of your butt.
I just love that at 8 centimeters, I ate scrambled eggs.
I never thought a lot about giving birth in my 20s, but I did develop a strange obsession in my mid-20s with episiotomies.
I had heard that castor oil would speed up labor. So,
Birth is being presented as a part of a global Birth on Labor Day movement to make maternity care mother-friendly.
I wanted to get people to start thinking about birth in terms of mother-friendly birth.
I think it's terribly important to put the mother at the center. If you do that, everything follows.
As a writer, activist, and mother, I felt I had to do something.
I'm Marianne Teuma from Malta in the Mediterranean. I am very happy to have had this opportunity to work with Birth the Play. The play was a very inspiring experience for all of us. It gave us the opportunity to address our feelings about our own births, discussing what we liked and what we didn't like, and expressing ways how we would like it to change.
So really, all over the world, you guys are part of a movement that's really exciting.
This information is out there, and it has been out there a very long time. I want to know, what is it about women's brains where they just aren't interested in this? They're interested in a Prada bag, they're interested in Sex and the City, but they are not interested in tuning into this core of power that's available at birth.
I think it's important to know mothers' birth stories so that people know the truth.
1 minute my body was pregnant, and the next a knife was put to my stomach and the baby was taken out. As far as my body was concerned, there was this big sadness. I felt like my body had experienced his birth as a death.
I just wanted to share that, it wasn't the most positive experience, although since then I've cried a lot about my birth.
Feel your power.
I am strong.
My mother's an OBGYN, and I didn't know what normal birth sounds were. And when I first heard them from the cast, it made me a little uncomfortable. And then I sort of got used to it.
Other women of color, other women walking, you know, into this amazing creation called parenthood and motherhood really need to understand, when I say no, I mean no. When I said, no, don't cut me, and she cut me. She gave me an episiotomy, and that was, my vagina will never be the same again because of that. I think that out of everything, that was the worst experience, was the episiotomy.
When I started, I could hear the whirl of the instrument cutting and I could feel tugging. I had to be careful not to look in the glass because then I could see the reflection, then I could see everything. I felt pulling and tugging and I felt like throwing up. I almost did. I kept talking throughout the section because I was so repulsed by the whole thing.
I saw women experiencing the fear of childbirth and yet dealing with it constructively. You oftentimes see the fear, but you don't see how you can actually overcome that.
I interviewed one woman whose story is in the play, and her birth mantra was, "My body rocks." I love this. My hope is that all women will believe their bodies rock.
My body rocks!
My body rocks!
Your body rocks! My body rocks! My body rocks!
It has to come from the community, and physicians and nurses have the responsibility to respond, but they're not going to respond. Your physicians aren't going to respond until you plant that seed.
The talkbacks have been really profound, and they're really getting communities talking about birth, and I think that's what we need to do.
We just want to say thank you so much for being part of this first year. You will hear more from Bold, so keep an eye on birthonlaborday.com.